Hi all, welcome to the final whistle for another match preview then. This one is a more difficult test. Leicester have kept 4 clean sheets out the last 5. We're playing a Man City side who are right in form, who's only lost once this season against Liverpool. They're second. They're 2 points behind the league leaders Arsenal, and Man City will look to coming out Fox Leicester and grab them 3 crucial points as they battle Arsenal for the early title. Guys, if you're just joining, smash a like and subscribe to the final whistle. It'd be really much appreciated. We're on 514, so our next aim is 600. I'll be joined by MCFC Daps. He'll be joining me. He's tonight's guest. He's from Never a Foul. They do a podcast where they talk all things football, the Big Six and all that. Great channel, great bunch of lads. Their description is in the channel description on this video. And also you can click their link in the title as well, which will take you to their YouTube page. Go and check them out and subscribe to them. A great bunch of lads. And yeah, let's go on with this Manchester City game then. And I'll see you in just a minute. Hi all, welcome to the final whistle for another match preview. Really hope you're well. Let's get my guest in, Mr. MCFC Daps. Daps, how are you, pal?
I'm good, mate. You? Friday?
I'm all right. Yeah, day closer to the weekend then, Daps. Big game at the weekend. Talk to me firstly about this channel then, Never a Foul. Tell everybody what you do then at Never a Foul.
God, this is off the cuff. I didn't expect this. So we talk everything football. Yeah, everything football. Mainly, you're right. Mainly it's the Big Six, but that's kind of we'll go wherever the live chat takes us on a lot of our shows. You know, we have different shows. So we have I have a show every Tuesday where it's called a City United. It's me and a Legacy United fan where we talk about the current situations at both clubs, but we also usually have a subject that can be going back 10 years or whatever. Then we have big game previews, we have reviews, we have panel shows. We at very least we have one show a day at very least. And we've been going for 2 years, but I would say we've been going for 3 months. We kind of started off well, did really well for a year, then dropped off for like 9 months of nothing while me and Tayu, who was the original guy I run it with, who supports United, we both went off and did our own thing just to kind of grow ourselves a bit, and then said, end of the season, we're going to come back together. Took Cass on board as well, and then from that point, it's like now our focus is strictly Never a Foul. So every day, at least one show a day. Yeah, and it's going good. It's going good. But yeah, although we do talk on, of course, the Big Six, I'd hate calling them that. I'm not gonna lie, but the you know who I mean. But we'll talk on anyone. We did all through the summer. We were doing shows every 2 weeks where we would do a complete prediction based on the there and then. So if a player was coming in on Monday, it didn't matter. There and then, the league prediction from 1 to is it still? It's not 20 no more. Is it 18 or is it 20 still?
What's that? The Prem?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 teams.
It's still 20, isn't it? Yeah. It used to be. It used to be
18.
It used to be 22 and it dropped to 20. Long time ago. Yeah. Anyway, So yeah, we do try and cover other teams, but the chat usually want to slander one of the big teams, so we go wherever. But yeah, but of course, my special subject is Manchester City. So
yeah, talk to me quickly about your love for Manchester City. Then, Daps, how did it start, and what is your thoughts on City over the years? Then, obviously, they've become a big club, brought in some fantastic players, and yeah, the rest is history, they say, don't they? So talk to me about your love for City.
So my love for City, I mean, I'd love to come on here and say I've supported City my whole life, but I'm a very real person. I haven't. I started supporting City when I was 3, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know what I was doing before the age of 5, but so I've been told I started supporting City when I was 3, and that makes sense. Reason being, my real dad is a Watford fan, right?
Yeah.
But my mum remarried when I was 3, and we moved up to Poynton, which is near Stockport. Met my stepdad, who was a Blue through and through, and so some might say if I followed in my real dad's footsteps when I lived down south at the age of 2 years old, I should have supported Watford technically. But yeah, I lived in Manchester from the age of 3, moved back down south when I was 16, was a season ticket holder at Main Road. Life was easy. Life was very easy then. It sounds mad, but when we were shit, life was easy. Because you don't really care, do you? It's like we support our team, and we have no expectations. And I used to watch when I moved back down here, and I used to see Arsenal fans getting worked up if they didn't win. I'm like, I never want to be like that. Never want to be like that. But over the years of getting used to winning, you start getting pissed off when you lose games. And it's harder. And then you decide to do YouTube, and then it's like, fuck me. And you know what? Deep down, us old City fans, like, we go into every game expecting the worst. We still do, right? But doing YouTube, sometimes you have to be that voice that rallies the troops. And like the Liverpool game, for example, all City fans were nervous going into that. And I mean all City fans that have supported City for a long time were nervous going into that. Of course, on Twitter and those toxic places, you'll get the young fans that just want to win a Champions League that they're like, now we're going to bowl Liverpool over. It's like, that isn't going to happen, is it? But in the morning, I thought, you know what? I'm going to wake up. I'm going to put something on Instagram, being a bit chesty.
Yep.
But me, did that come back and haunt me? By 6:30, I had every Liverpool fan channel calling me out, and I had to spend my Sunday evening going on and facing Liverpool fans with my tail between my legs. But it's all fun and games. But yeah, it's funny how when I first moved back down here, I couldn't get a City kit for love nor money without my sister buying it, who still lives up there, and sending it down. Or when people ask me who I support, I'd get the response, you're a loyal bunch, you lot. I've got a lot of time for you lot, right? Soft spot for City. The minute we won one trophy, all of a sudden, how long you supported them for? And it's like, you never used to ask me that. It used to be, and you've got no fans. It's like, so we've gone from being a loyal bunch. And strangely enough, I was on the way to the City game last week. There were a load of little Coventry fans on the train.
Yeah.
20 of them. And they started giving it. And admittedly, I got heated once or twice. But I get rattled very easily. But I said to a few of them, we're trying to have a football debate. And I said, you probably don't want to do this because I do this twice a night. So things you're saying are scripted. They're like in the script of things to say to City fans. Oil money, no Champions League, and no fans, right? And I was like, let me ask you, Coventry fan, what's your average? You're currently in the Championship, right? And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, right, what's your average attendance? And they said 20,000 with chest. And I was like, and they go, yeah. And I don't care what your average attendance now is, because obviously you're in the Premier League. I said, I'm not going to say that. I said, so we dropped one division lower than you. We actually dropped down to Division 1, the third tier of English football, where we held an official average attendance of, I can't say it to the exact seat, but it was over 28,000. I was like, so for you to say that our fans aren't loyal, no, we went a division lower than you and still were pulling in 28,000 week in, week out. So admittedly, it's now bigger. Yes, young kids now want to support my club, and I'm very proud to say they want to do that. But it's mad. Leicester and City are similar, because I think growing up, I never ever expected to celebrate. The most I celebrated at Main Road was Man United not winning the league, right? When Blackburn won it. I never thought I'd expect. I mean, shit, even when we fucking got promoted, it was through the playoffs, right? Yeah. So it's like we can't win nothing. And similar with Leicester, probably growing up, you would just, maybe if we go on a cup run once or something. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we've got this Premier League put on our table in front of us. It's like, fucking hell, I couldn't dream of this. And it's special. It's very special.
Yeah, I agree. Talk to me about the opposition then, Daps, Manchester City. A very good side. 2 points off Arsenal at the top. Let's have a look at City's last 6 games. Brighton 3-1, lost to Liverpool, 4-0 against Southampton, 6-3 against United, 3-0 against Wolves, and 1-1 against Aston Villa. Are you happy to where you are in the table? And what was your expectations at the start, Daps, for Manchester City? Surely it would have been top spot and not really looking for anything the other way.
Do you know what, right? So there's the Twitter expectations that we must win the Champions League. Yeah. Our board's expectation, I think all City fans echo, and that is to challenge in every single competition. Not to win it, to challenge, right? Because, and when there's one of my worst questions to ask me is, will you? And it's like, no. Do I think we will or could we? Fine. Not will we? I can't tell you. So I will never go into a league saying if we don't win it, it's not acceptable, right? The Premier League's a hard league to win. This season, more than ever. Champions League, well, trust me, it's fucking hard because we haven't won one yet, right? So, and even when seasons like this, when you got games piling up and whatever else, what's frustrated me this season is, even though I think we've only been top once or twice all season, if that. Everyone's saying the season's already, the league's already decided, it's City's. And it's like, are any of you lot going to actually watch us, right? And talk about how we play? Because that's more interesting. Like Grealish, for example. Grealish is shit. He's a flop. He's got no goals, no assists. But then go and ask a United fan how he was in the game that we scored 6 against them. He was probably one. All right, I'm not going to say he was our most important player because Foden and Haaland got hat-tricks, but apart from them two, he probably was, right? But people don't want to watch City. They don't, so they just want to comment on it. Now, the fact is, it probably goes with most seasons with City. We haven't started this season off that well. No. Haaland has scored a lot of fucking goals. And that is the story of Manchester City this season. We've been rotating our defenders constantly, which I never think's good. I get it. Pep's trying to get them all used to playing with each other. We have had injuries. Injuries are not an excuse when you spend money like us, but we have been rotating. But I think, all right, against Man United, we probably got into 4th gear. Apart from that, we've been in 2nd and 3rd gear all season. Brighton last week was the worst home game I've seen for a long, long time. We were poor. But when you have Kevin De Bruyne, when you have Erling Haaland, you can still win those games 3-1. And that is the story of it. It's we're doing what City do, and that's work through the gears. Yeah. Reserve energy, let the ball do the work. And the difference, I'm already saying it. I've said to Arsenal fans that, most Arsenal fans I don't think they're in a title race, and they are going to get top 4. But they will drop off. Business end of the season, they will drop off. We saw it last week against Southampton. That is the type of game that Manchester City turn into a win. Arsenal drew 1-1, right? That is the type of game Man City, even in bad form, turn into a win. And that's it. Right now, for us to be second within, I've been joking saying give Arsenal a 12-point lead going into January and we'll still catch them because that's when we come alive. But look, going into this game, you lot have picked up a little bit of form. We're not in the best form. Potential injuries. Vardy loves to play City. And when you've got Maddison feeding him, it's a difficult game. It's that simple.
What's your actual thoughts on City this season, Daps? You know, you brought in Erling Haaland, you brought in Alvarez as well. You know, what was your actual thoughts on the transfer window? I mean, what a steal for Haaland at £50-odd million. I mean, a cracking player. He's going to score bare goals, isn't he, in the division? He looks like a robot, doesn't he? You know, he's untouchable, isn't he? You know, he plays through everything and gets goals.
It's better than I expected. Better than I expected. I wanted us to get him, obviously, with the legacy thing with his dad and, you know, the fact that every other club wanted him. I wanted us to get him. I had my concerns. I did. When you're buying a player that is one of the most talked about players in world football, you worry that he could come with an ego. And, you know, if there's certain games that maybe we have to bench him because we need that extra man in midfield, how will he take it? Will he fight against Pep, push against Pep? All those type of concerns. Will he be able to do it in the Premier League? And he's proven me wrong on all of them. So yeah, it's unreal. It's unreal. We've gone and got a what's that?
I'm just reading that.
End up.
I don't know if she's mistaking you for somebody else.
Dappy, maybe. No, I don't know if it's a joke or, but yeah. He's proved me wrong. It's kind of like, yeah, it's a bit surreal to get him, really. You know, it is like one of them Real Madrid Galactico signings without actually winning the Champions League yet. So it's beautiful to have him, and it's good that he's hit the ground, proving everyone wrong. Other signings, Alvarez was an absolute steal. You know, we jumped the gun. Other people were interested in him. United wanted him, but the board rejected going in for him. We've gone and got, you know, Argentinia's potentially striker for the World Cup, and we paid 14 million for him. So,
what's your thoughts on Akanji?
Akanji, yeah, Akanji's coming right. So my thoughts and City's fans' thoughts are slightly different. And if people don't listen to everything you say, they'll probably come for me. But if you listen to what I'm saying, Akanji has been unbelievable. He came in and he's done the exact job he got brought in for. He got brought in when we had some injuries. He can play on the left, he can play on the right. He's very intelligent, but he's a centre-back. When he's been playing as a centre-back, he's looked phenomenal. Mm-hmm. We've started having to play him on the right because of Walker being injured. He's not a right-back. And I don't... Right, if we play him at right-back against you lot and Harvey Barnes plays, Harvey Barnes could have a good day. Because Akanji's not a right back. He's not. He doesn't look comfortable there. Edison doesn't look comfortable passing the ball to him there. Yeah. But that's not his role. You know, Diaz got spoke how good Diaz came in and settled in the Premier League. Ruben Diaz. Akanji's done the same thing. So yeah, he's a really, really, really good squad player. The fact that he's comfortable on both sides, great signing. The other ones we bought, Calvin Phillips, we hadn't seen much of. He's injured. You know, will he be back for the World Cup? We don't know. Pep spoke on him today, said his shoulder, because he's had shoulder surgery. He's able to move his shoulder. It's looking good. He's ahead of the curve, but the World Cup's touch and go. Gomez was the other one we bought, left back. He's looked promising going forward. For me, he's going to take a bit of time for me. Defensively, I think Gomez. Bought from, was it Stuttgart? Stuttgart, I think it was.
I'm not sure.
Might be wrong. I know he played for Dortmund. He came through Barcelona's academy. Our left back we bought for about 18 million. I can't remember. For some reason, I think it might have been Stuttgart, but I might be wrong with that, to be fair. But yeah, he's played a bit. Got a red card in the Champions League. Scored for us. I think he's got an assist as well, but I think he's going to be the one that takes the longest to kind of settle into the team.
Yeah. Daps, talk to me about the last result then. 3-1 win against Brighton. Trossard scoring for Brighton. Haaland scoring again. De Bruyne scoring a banger. Talk to me through that game. I mean, how crucial was it to beat Brighton and get them points to catch it with Arsenal?
Listen, every single game in the Premier League is vital to win for us. I don't think losing to Brighton would have changed the end of the season. We still win the league. But 3 points. We had to, keep we want some momentum going into the World Cup because none of us know how we're going to come out of the World Cup. None of us know what our squad's going to look like when we come out of the World Cup. Hard game, man. Very hard game. They've gone to Liverpool, got a point. They've gone to Old Trafford, got 3 points. They're a good team. They're a team that, and they're one of the first teams in a long, long time that have come to the Etihad and had more possession than us. They play their style of football. If they had a striker, they'd be dangerous. They really fucking would be. But, they haven't got a striker. I mean, Welbeck, they haven't got anyone that's going to put up big numbers. But you could even tell with how we played that Pep respected them. We didn't press as high because I think with Walker out and Akanji playing at right back, you could tell that our wide left and wide right forwards were not pressing because if they bypassed our press, they could get at us. And they did. At some points, we were struggling to get the ball back off of them. But like I said, when you've got Haaland and you've got De Bruyne, that's the difference. And Ederson passed through the middle, Haaland on, round the keeper, Bosch, 1-0. Penalty then, again. And it was just, that's the difference between Man City and, Liverpool and Man United. And I do believe Arsenal, that a hard Brighton team, we will still get something out of it. And that's kind of, look, at the moment, I'm basing it on the fact that I don't know who's going to play for us tomorrow against you. I really don't. But we have to have that momentum and that belief going into these games. That's how we win leagues, being 2-0 down against Aston Villa, having that belief that you can get something out of it. Now, Leicester away, rival fans, I've been watching some shows today. They're like, nah, this is going to be run of the mill, blah, 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 blah. But for me as a City fan, there are games that Leicester have beat us in, right? And they scar us. Like, generally we win games, but when we lose 5-2 at the Etihad, when we lose in the Community Shield, when we lose the season you won the league, I think both games that season, I think it might have been, they will haunt us because it's like, right, Leicester can get a result against us. They have got Jamie Vardy, who loves, so we just have to go into this game, even if we don't have Haaland, even if we don't have Cancelo, we have to go into this game and think, do you know what? Our form's not the best it has been. And Leicester's form is on the up. But we are the champions. We're going for the three-peat. We've just got to get a win. It doesn't matter how we do it. We just have to get a win. I don't think it's going to be a big, City rolling Leicester over. Not a chance.
I think it would have been weeks ago before the Nottingham Forest game. I think, you could have come to our place and slapped us 6-0. Yeah.
But look, when you've got Maddison, man, anything can happen. The guys, Maddison is fucking good. That's all I can, really is. So, yeah, there's a threat there. Leicester's position can make you forget the players they have.
Yeah.
So
that's very true. Daps, Leicester won 4-0 at the weekend. Vardy scored in his first goal in, I think it was like 11 games. And he hadn't scored this season up until that point. Barnes got one, Tielemans got a cracker, and Maddison scored as well. Wolves obviously very poor this season. Ain't really got a goal scorer, have they? But was you impressed by Leicester at the weekend? Like, looking into a Man City fan thinking this team can actually hurt us at the weekend. Looking at the Maddisons, Tielemans, Dewsbury Halls, Vardy's. And then you look at Wout Faz, who's performing well in defence for Leicester. And then them sort of players, Daps, who you're really wary of ahead of the weekend's game.
Not all of them. Some of them. Vardy's track record against City is good, right? Yeah. Vardy is the type of player that is the type of player Man City don't like to play against, right? Mm-hmm. They don't. Have you seen what Haaland said about Vardy?
Yeah, he's been watching him quite a bit on videos and that.
He said that
he looks at him.
In the box, yeah, like running at defenders and that, he's one of the best out there. And that's the thing. That's what City don't like. Like, we've always struggled against Vardy because he is the exact type of player. It would probably be the last time that we've not really, Vardy's been playing and on form, probably would have been under Company or something. Vardy on form is a menace, an absolute menace. Maddison, unreal. Harvey Barnes, cold. Tielemans, I'm not a fan of, but he's a good footballer. I just don't like the guy.
Is he a top 6 player, Daps, for you? Would he fit into a top 6?
Nah, do you know what? For me personally, do you know what I really don't like about players? When I see players constantly being linked away from a club, I don't like them. To be frank with you, it's like for me as a rival fan, I'm like, I wouldn't want him. This guy's got no look, and that's how I view Tielemans slightly. Like, I just think too many seasons I've heard he's pushing for a move, and that I don't like that in players. Like, it's like I wouldn't want that type of player around me. He's a good player though. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player. Top 6. I mean, that depends on. I think Liverpool would probably take him right now. To be fair. He's a squad player at some of the top 6 teams. I don't think he's. I don't. I'm not a big fan of him, so it's hard to comment because of my opinions on him. That probably makes me a bit biased. But yeah, I just when players are linked away from clubs way too much, I'm just like avoid him because. If someone else comes sniffing, is it going to be the same at your club that he just wants to move away as well? So, who else is there? I'll be honest.
Never
Maddison.
Baldy on form as a menace.
He is. He really is. And
does he still worry though, Daps? I know he's getting older and stuff like that. He's getting into the late 30s now, and he's in. Vardy in his prime against Manchester City, unplayable, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Peel off the back of your defenders.
Like I said, he's the exact type of player we just don't like to play against. Like, we don't like players that, like, the way to play against Man City is on the counter, right? Vardy thrives in space to run onto. And especially when you look, we haven't got Walker at the moment, so we haven't got that pace as well. I know Vardy's pace is dropping off a bit. Akanji's all right. Aki's quick. Maybe Aki might play for that side of it because he's quite pacey. But yeah, Vardy's always going to, until he leaves the league. Like, I'll be honest, when I was the Atletico City game last season, second leg in Madrid, and when Suarez came on for Madrid, right? Suarez is not the same Suarez, but still, I'm there bricking it, thinking, fucking hell, I've seen what this guy can do. And these strikers, if they can do it, they can do it. Like, maybe not as consistently, but it's still a threat. Harvey Barnes is great, but it's who else is there in your team I'd worry about at the moment?
Barnes against Walker. It's always the same thing every time.
Like,
Walker's
he don't want
to run it in. Do you know what I mean? But obviously Walker's out this weekend. Maybe that'll take the edge off Barnes, thinking, his form going into this game where he could cause real problems for City, knowing that they ain't got the experienced Walker and how pacey Walker is for his age, looking after himself for that is just fantastic. And he's still one of the best right backs in the league, isn't he, Daps? Let's be honest.
For me, Walker's one of the most disrespected right backs in the Premier League because people just constantly want this Reece James Trent debate, and it's like, that's fine if you're talking reactionary here and now. Walker's been doing it for like nearly 10 years now. He's I mean, it's hard because I don't know if Cancelo's going to start or not yet because there's a bit of doubt on him. But if we have no Cancelo and no Walker, then you're going to target us down the wings 100%. You will do.
Obviously, you've lost Zinchenko as well, haven't you, to Arsenal?
Yeah. Zinchenko's out. So, I mean, we will see. We don't know till tomorrow. Pep's press conference kind of looked like Cancelo and Haaland might start, but Pep's giving nothing away. We're not going to know till tomorrow.
No, I know what Pep's like. He's very good at mind games and that.
Do you know what? It wasn't today. It was like the press conference was before training. And he was like, I don't know. Training's after this session. I can't tell you. I don't know what they're going to be like in training. They had a fever and a slight foot knot. So it's like we will see. So we just have to wait and see. Early kickoff. I'll be honest, I don't like early kickoffs.
I hate 12:30s. I'll agree with you on that.
We're not great in them neither.
Neither are we. No. So I think it could be a 0-0 draw then, Daps.
I'll tell you now, the City allocation sold out extremely quickly. Very, very quickly. Yeah, it sold out like as in I was with Steve. I'm not a season ticket holder. I buy all my tickets, but Steve kind of got a phone call. It was a couple of Saturdays ago, and we just got to the ground for a game, and he got a phone call. They'd only come out that morning, and they were like, "Have you grabbed it yet?" And he was like, "Nah." They were like, "They're sold out. They've already gone." So the City allocation went very quickly for this game. So expect it's not too far, is it? Not too bad a journey. So expect a full lot of City there. The other one is Will Mahrez start. I mean, that's another interesting one.
The return. Daps, let's go on to Man City, the game then. Let's have a look at a few stats for you then, going into this one. We're going to look at the Premier League stats first. Leicester 17th, Man City 2nd. 8 wins for City, 3 for Leicester, 2 draws each. 7 defeats for Leicester and only 1 for City. Are you a stats sort of person? Daps going into this one, thinking, you know what, look at our form compared to theirs. We can do damage here.
That's a really good question. Am I a stat person? Nah, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. Stats are important. They are. But the first thing that comes into my head when we're playing any team, stats go out the window. And I just think of, like I said before, I think of previous experiences against you. That's the first thing. Like, you know, the 5-2, that'll always be there. I can't fully remember the 2 games you won when you won the league, but I remember the second one really hurt because it was like, fuck me, Leicester are going to win this, you know. It's when you beat us was the point where I was like, they're going to do this, you know. They're really going to fucking do this. So, and the Community Shield as well. Yeah, so I more look at, I more look at, that's the first thing that comes in my head. Stats are relevant. They are relevant. I mean, it's form, innit? But for me, nah, I wouldn't say I'm a stats kind of guy, really. Nah. Save that for Twitter.
Okay. Let's look at the all competition then. Wins 64 for you lot. We've got 32. It should be the other way around, really.
I was going to say, fuck me, we've been rubbish against you, but okay, we've been better than I thought.
Yeah, it's the other way around. I forgot to change them before I'd come on. Didn't realise it till now. But yeah, 125 meetings before the 2 sides. A lot of games.
Quite a lot.
It is 125 between 2 sides. 126 tomorrow, and Man City got a good record against Leicester. Let's quickly look at the last 5 meetings in the Premier League between City and Leicester.
I think they look good on this.
There they are, 6-3, 1-0 City, 2-0 City, 5-2 Leicester, and 1-0 City. So you got 4 wins out of the last 5 against Leicester, Daps in the league.
Yeah. But like I said, that 5-2, that'll always be the one that I remember most.
The Madison Cracker. That's when Morris scored, wasn't it? In the,
Hold on. Throw that up again.
I don't know what I've done with it. I think I've deleted it.
Right, the one before was the 1-0, wasn't it? Before the 5-2, the one before that was the company goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. That might have been Jesus scored.
No, it was a company goal.
Company 2018. Company was 2018, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was ages ago, actually. Yeah, fucking hell, yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That company, that would a company goal where I thought actually Leicester would actually get smart out of this game.
Mate, you were so good that going into that game, you lot were on one hell of a run of form, weren't you? Was that when Brendan had just joined you?
Yeah, that's when Brendan first joined us.
And we had and you were unbelievable. And then that game, I mean, we all knew, I think all of your fan base and all of our fan base knew the only way City is scoring is a rocket because we just couldn't break you down. And then Vinny did that.
What a goal.
Yeah.
I was there to witness that, the Etihad.
Were you there?
I was there. Then you see the guy going up the stairs, leaving the game, and you're just like, something's going to happen here. You're only going to beat us from distance because we were well compact in defending.
Oh, you were so good. Yeah, you really were. You really, really were.
What a finish because Aguero said to Company, come on, don't shoot.
The half the team were. Half the team were. In an interview, company said, I'm not going to have all these young players that have been playing half the time I have tell me not to shoot. What a goal.
Company was, 2018, because we had Harry Maguire. That's a bloody long time ago, that. Let's have a look at the last time we beat you at home. We beat you in a 2-1 win, Daps. Ricardo scored that cracker when Fabian Delph got sent off. That was the last time we beat you at home. Normally, it's mostly at the Etihad.
I can't remember that one. What season was that?
2018.
I can't even remember it. Cannot remember it,
Paul Powell manager then. I think that was just not long before Brendan took over.
Thinking with Delph there, that would have been...
I think
that was early in that season that we won. So that was the season that was the season that we were going head to head with Liverpool. So it was the season after the 100 points. Yeah.
It's mad. Daps, let's look at this man then. The return of Mahrez. That's what I've called it. Talk to me about Riyad Mahrez, time at City, Daps. They brought out a video today on Man City's Twitter, didn't they, about Mahrez and when he scored that goal, jumping over Otamendi, was it, to bang one past Joe Hart. And they're doing a story on it now, aren't they, of Riyad Mahrez's career at Manchester City. So it's the story of Mahrez. I mean, what's your thoughts on Riyad Mahrez, Daps? Misses a few penalties, doesn't he?
Misses a few penalties. Look, Mahrez is a world-class player. Very technical player. I've never seen someone be able to bring a ball under control the way he does. Some could say he's a one-trick pony, the cutting in on the left, the Robin vibe thing where it's a trick that very few manage to stop. It's like, know it's coming. Same with Robin. Robin used to do it. He's going to cut in and he's going to whip it, but try and stop it. And look, he's been a very important player for City over the last couple of years. PSG semi-final of the Champions League. We'll always talk about that. He's scored a lot of very important goals for us. He's stepped up when we haven't had a striker and scored goals. He seems very happy in Manchester. He's marrying a Manchester bird, an ex-City player's daughter. He's married. In fact, got a kid on the way with her.
Who's that?
Ashley Ward's daughter.
I don't know who Ashley Ward is.
So his missus is on Housewives of Cheshire as well. So, yeah. But this season, it's not going well for Mahrez. Now, I don't know if I feel like Walker is a big miss because I think the one thing Mahrez isn't that good at is tracking back.
He did that at Leicester a lot.
When you've got Walker, you don't need to. Walker's pace, you do not need to. But and I also think Walker and Mahrez were on the same page as each other. They worked well down the right. When Mahrez would cut in, Walker would overlap. And we know Mahrez loves to cut in. Or vice versa. Walker would make a run on the inside and Mahrez would play him in. So it works. Now we've got Akanji over there because we don't have Walker at the moment. And Akanji's not a natural left back and Mahrez doesn't track back. It's like, it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. Then you've got Grealish pushing, looking better and better every game. And it probably doesn't help as well that because we're looking very good down the left with Cancelo, Foden, that everything's going down the left and it's making you look at the right. Like, what is going on here? There's nothing going on over here. So it's hard because I could come on and be really frustrated with Mahrez, but you always have to put it into perspective. And I do think over the last 2 or 3 years, in fact, do you know what? Over the last 4 years, so 3 of our Premier League wins, Mahrez has been pivotal. He really has. He's stepped up. He's scored important goals. one of the senior reliable members of the squad, him, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, De Bruyne, they're world-class players, all of them. And Mahrez is a world-class player. At the moment, his form's just not good. It really isn't. But he ain't going to the World Cup. And that's why he keeps playing. Because when you've got players that aren't going to the World Cup, you run them into the ground. Because they're going to have a month off. So, keep playing Mahrez. Because if we're winning, but the penalties, he can't be taking no more penalties now. He can't.
I swear he's missed 4 out of his last 5.
Well, all I know is, listen, he's missed 2 in the last 2 Champions League games, and he missed 1 at Anfield a couple of seasons back that would have given us our first win at Anfield with fans on the ground, and he missed it in the 87th minute, and that is, it's horrible because as a fan, you really shouldn't, but that's just stuck in my mind. And I'm like, fucking Mahrez, man. We had a chance to beat fucking the Scousers when they had fans in their ground for the first time in however many years, and you fluffed your lines. It's a sackable offence. It's a sackable offence.
It is. Fantastic player. One of the best wingers in Leicester's history. I sold him to you lot for 60 million plus. Was he a good signing for you, Daps, when you looked at him when Man City were going to sign him? What was your actual thoughts on Mahrez signing for City?
It was another one of them ones where I was happy because other teams wanted him, and it was like, fuck you.
Like Arsenal.
Arsenal. There we go. You said it right. I don't think we needed him.
Right.
Now, looking back, we probably did, because over the last 4 years, he's contributed heavily to us winning leagues. So we probably did need him. But at the time, it was I think we probably had Leroy Sané, Sterling, Jesus, Bernardo Silva, who, remember, joined us as a kind of winger. De Bruyne, who can play wide left, wide right. And it was do we really need another winger? But he has come in and been consistent for us. I mean, I can't be like everything I'm against with the reactionary fans and be pissed off with him based on the last couple of games. I mean, I am, but you have to, same with Sterling. Sterling was the most frustrating player to watch as a City fan. But without his numbers, we didn't win leagues. So same with Mahrez. He's really contributed. Technically gifted, so gifted. And I do think his mentality is correct as well. The guy's a winner. The guy's a winner. Someone said to me the other week, although he's signed another contract with City, and I think with now him marrying because I always think City was a bit of a stepping stone deep down. I think he wanted Real Madrid or PSG or Barcelona. I think if he could have, a season or 2 ago, he would have gone. Yep. Because he's not English. He wants, we have to accept that some of these foreign players, they want to play for Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, those type of players, right?
Yep.
Algerian, PSG, 100%. But now that he's married a Manc, who they've got a kid on the way, she's going to want to be around her family. I think he'll probably end his career at City. But the one thing I would say is, it would be a clever move for someone like Arsenal to go for him because of his mentality, that he could go in there and give them another winner and give Saka a bit of rest. But I just think his days at City are numbered now for me. I think he's one that if he left, I'd get it.
Loves a goal against Leicester. It's not been the happiest responses watching him score against Leicester, let's be honest. Scored last season in the 6-3 win. Will it be a happy return for him then, Daps? What sort of response do you think Leicester City will give him then tomorrow when he returns to the King Power?
I think Leicester fans are a bit like City fans, and it's you know what? If you've helped us achieve greatness and then you've moved on, you've moved on. I mean, from what I remember, there was never really any... He wasn't pushing for the move, was he?
Yeah, just sat in airports and that wanting to move.
But I've got that vibe off him at City a bit. That like when Real Madrid, like there was rumours with Real Madrid, and he didn't. You want a player to come out and say, "No, I'm happy where I am." His was, "I'm happy where I am, but I've always dreamed of playing." It's like, okay, so you want to go
like a Fofana.
Yeah. Like it's if you say I'm happy, if you get asked a question and answer it, but then follow with but, then okay, I'm going to take your second answer as your actual answer. Your first answer is to kind of calm everyone down. Your second answer is what you truly mean. And but I think we have to be honest. Like if a Phil Foden came out and said, "I love it at Man City," but I'd be like, that hurts. But for a player that's Algerian to say it about Leicester or Man City, it's like, well, I get it. Like you've won the league at Leicester, you've won the league at City. If you want to go elsewhere, then I get it. We can't act like, Fofana, maybe he came. Did Fofana come through your academy? He didn't, did he?
No, he came from Saint Etienne, but he did the same thing to Saint Etienne, what he did to Leicester to move to Chelsea. So it's just like, what are you doing, bro?
Stepping stones. Honestly, there's a lot of players. We have to understand. Sometimes
they want to play at the highest level. I get it.
Yeah,
but it's the way you go about it, isn't it?
Look, everyone's trying to talk about this Haaland contract clause.
2024.
The fact is, anyone that thinks that a player of Erling Haaland's stature isn't going to have a contract clause in is mental. Of course, he's got a contract clause in there, and I have no doubt that one day he will leave Manchester City and go and play for a bigger club, or if not a bigger club, a club that he'll want to pick up some trophies in a league that he hasn't won trophies in yet. These players, elite players, have elite
mentality.
Well, not mentality, elite. Like they want to achieve a lot, and
they want to be the best.
They want to be the best. They want to retire with as many trophies from as many different leagues as possible. So, same with Mahrez. Like, it's what it is.
Daps, let's talk about injury news then. Walker, Cancelo, and Haaland. Do you think they'll feature tomorrow against Leicester? Obviously, Phillips is out as well, isn't he? When injury.
So Phillips and Walker are out. They're definitely out. They're more long term. I have a sneaky feeling that Haaland and Cancelo will both feature.
Off the bench or?
No, start.
Okay. Because there's been bigger reports, haven't there, about Haaland foot injury, Cancelo, FIFA, and all
there has been, and
that's media, isn't it? Again,
Pep didn't squash them. He said, "I don't know till training." But when Haaland got rested against Copenhagen, some media outlets were saying Haaland's a risk; he might not be available against Liverpool. Pep after the game came out and said Haaland came off. Haaland didn't start against Copenhagen just because he seemed a little bit tired at the weekend. So we thought we'd give him a rest. Yeah. Media outlets are saying Haaland might be injured against Liverpool. Any news on Haaland, media outlets will run with. But they are both definitely concerns. But I just have a sneaky feeling that Pep's running with it. I think Pep's seen, if the media want to report it as a concern, no problem. I'll go with that. Because if that throws Leicester off the scent, fine. But look, it's not an excuse. We've spent enough money, and with or without both of those players, we have to do what it is to get.
You've got to adapt, haven't you, about them?
Yep. Fuck me, Leicester have had enough injuries over the years. Jesus.
Oh, bloody have. It's catching you lot up now, isn't it? Daps, talk to me about team selection, mate. What's your 11 for tomorrow then against Leicester?
So, I'm going to go with my preferred, and this is going to base it on who I think might be available. So it'll be Ederson in goal, Ederson in goal, John Stones at right back.
Yep.
Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo.
Yep.
Rodri, Bernardo, Gundogan. Sorry, Rodri, Bernardo, De Bruyne. Grealish, Haaland, Foden.
Interesting. Leicester's obviously going to play Danny Ward in goal. I think we're going to go with James Justin, Castagna, Wout Faes, Marty, Shrewsbury Hall, Samari, Tillemans, Madison, Barnes, Vardy. Obviously, Wilfred Ndidi's back, but I don't think he'll be fit enough to start. But I think he'll start on the bench. But Daps, talk to me about key players. Who's going to affect the game then against Leicester? Obviously, we know there's going to be a De Bruyne in there, a Haaland if Haaland does play. And what other players can Leicester look out for?
So I'm going to say key player for City tomorrow. And I'm going to just... There's no point in me saying De Bruyne. There's no point in me saying Haaland. For me as a City fan, a key player for me is... and this is because I want him to start starting every single game now, is Aymeric Laporte. We've been switching about. So last season, he played through injuries at the end of the season to get us over the line. He was our best centre-back last season. Yes, Stones, when he was fit, was good, but he wasn't available enough. Laporte played through injuries, was our best centre-back last season. He's been out all season. He started coming back, getting halves, clean sheets. Every time, Brighton last week, it reminded us all he is better than Ruben Diaz, right? Laporte is better than Ruben Diaz in my eyes. Honestly, he's our best centre-back and he's got pace. He's naturally comfortable on his left foot. He can fizz a ball. He's good in the air. He's experienced. He knows the Premier League and we're playing against Vardy. So for me, I want to see Laporte. Firstly, I want to see Laporte Diaz starting every game now. I want to see a constant centre-back pairing. If we're going to have to keep changing our fullbacks because of injuries, so be it. Let's keep our centre-backs the same. But I also think with Laporte, we're coming up against a team with a very, very experienced striker in Vardy. We need to play an experienced centre-back in Laporte.
Yeah, agreed. Daps, the last one then is score prediction. What are you going for?
So yesterday on another Leicester channel, I went 3-2. City, 3-2 City. But I'm going to switch it. I switched it on the show I just did a minute ago. I think 2-1 City.
2-1.
Yeah.
I've gone the other way. 2-1 Leicester.
Could go either way. Like I said, it's not an easy game. We've got players like Madison on the pitch. Anything can happen. Players like Vardy on the pitch. Anything can happen. Players like De Bruyne on the pitch. Anything can happen. Players like Haaland potentially on the pitch. Anything can happen. And that is ultimately football.
Yeah. Last one then, Daps, is where can everyone find you?
Never a Foul. It's there. So on YouTube, Never a Foul. Please give us a follow. What are we on? We're on the road to... We're on the road to now. Yeah, we're on the road to 6K. So we're at 5,332 likes. We are trying to hit 6,000... Trying to hit 5,500 by the World Cup. Trying to hit 7,000 by the end of the year. So please get over there. Like I said, we put up content daily. We don't see our subscribers as subscribers. We see them as family, community. We make sure our comments are good. If there's any dickheads in the live chat, we boot them out. We block them. It is a place that everyone should be able to come and talk football. You know, a bit of banter is all good, but we don't like disrespect, especially when it steps over the mark. And yeah, we're just growing, trying to talk about everything football and mix it. The most important thing we're trying to do is mix up banter with content, because sometimes it's going a bit too far with the banter. And it's like, are you actually going to talk football, or is this just all banter? But banter makes it good. But yeah, Never a Foul, people. And if me personally, MCFC Daps on Instagram.
Yeah, go and check the guys out. Their links in the description. And Never a Foul, they're in the title as well. So yeah, go and check the guys out. Great bunch of lads who love their football club and love talking football.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Daps, thank you for coming on, pal, and spending time with me to do this match preview. And good luck after tomorrow.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon.
Cheers, pal. Bye-bye. That was DJ Daps from Never a Foul. Gave me an insight into Manchester City. So next up then is the big one. It's Leicester versus Manchester City, a 12:30 kickoff at the King Power Stadium. A big game for the Foxes, one that the Foxes will relish, and it'll be a very good test for Leicester to see how good we are defensively in that against a very good Man City side. Will Haaland feature? Who knows? That's the big question on everyone's lips now. Will Erling Haaland start the line against Leicester? Will he be leaving fantasy football sides, or will people keep him in? But yeah, coming up on the final whistle. Obviously, first, go and check out the predictions, week 14 of the Premier League predictions, which is one we did yesterday with Rad. So go and check them out. Let's see how many I could actually get right this week. But yeah, what's coming up on the final whistle? So we've got the match review of Manchester City's game at the KP. I've also got the matchday vlog for Leicester versus Man City. That'll be out potentially straight after the game in the evening. So that'll be out. Go and check that out. We've got more match previews next week as Leicester go away to Everton. I've got a special guest next week, and it's Speedo Mick. The Everton fan will be joining me. Not in his Speedos, though. But yeah, Speedo Mick will be joining me next Friday night at 7 o'clock. What we'll do is we'll put his charity in the link description on Friday. If you can go and contribute towards his charity. He does everything. He walks everywhere. He walked to Land's End from Scotland. So yeah, that's how long he walked. Miles. But it's all for a good cause. So next week, I've got Speedo Mick on, fantastic guy, and yeah, I'll be chatting Everton versus Leicester. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. And thank you for watching tonight. And I will see you in the next one. Up the Foxes. Come on, Leicester.